45 TV, 4 games to crown 4 champions in boys state basketball. We begin with the Class 1A title game between the defending champs, Minneapolis North, and the biggest Cinderellas in the entire field, any class, the Northwoods Grizzlies, making their first ever state tournament appearance. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Long, joined as always by Leah B. Olson and Trent Tucker. Leah, Northwoods, they hit a buzzer beater, they survived a buzzer beater. Tell us about the Grizzlies.
Well, they just have to enjoy this ride. They have to believe that they're here for a reason and play great basketball. What I love what they did in their semifinal game is they only turned the ball over 4 times. That will be key in this game this afternoon.
It is the storybook setup. You've got the underdogs against the Giants, Minneapolis North. Trent, they have run roughshod through the tournament so far.
It's a team that plays off pace and quickness, strength and toughness. Larry McKenzie has done a very good job of making sure that his team is prepared for this moment. They are trying to defend their state championship.
Going to see Minneapolis North run a bit, but the heart and soul of that team is the big man, Odell Wilson. He's a junior, he's a center, but don't be fooled. He's a big man, Trent, but he can run with the rest of his team.
You know, Chris, he does a very good job with his footwork to get his body in position to score in the lane. Now, he's a guy that when things are not going well on the offensive end for them, they always can turn to him and find a safe haven down low.
And Trent, a little bit of news today. Minneapolis North in the new seating or section assignments that have come out. This will be their last shot in single A. They're going to double A next year.
But I think it's nice for them to move up because they will play against better competition, and that's good for the school.
Northwoods, what a great story they've been, Leah.
Well, it's been fun to watch this kid go crazy and hit big shots and hit big free throws. They're going to need all of that this afternoon. Players stepping up and doing really big things.
Saw a little bit there from Cade Gogolai. He hit the half-court shot in the quarterfinals. You may have seen on SportsCenter's Top 10 a couple nights ago. Minneapolis North and Northwoods for the 1A title right here on 45 TV.
Championship Saturday here on 45 TV. Great to have you with wherever you're at, and we're going to start off with a great game, pretty exciting stuff. In fact, Kevin, we look at these two teams. We talked a lot about them here just a few minutes ago, but the one thing we got to keep in mind is off this Minneapolis North team, they lost 3 senior starters last year, and they're just as powerful as they were.
Yeah, they just kind of reload at North. For sure, they got a lot more talent than Northwoods, but you get into a situation like this, it's a team game, a team sport, and who knows what can happen in a game like this, Dave.
Let's talk about some of the players we're watching in this one.
Well, let's start with Minneapolis North. Really, the guy who kind of stirs the drink for their team is Isaac Johnson, 6'6" senior, Division I player, going to Western Illinois. And North has got a lot of good players, but he's kind of the main gun that really gets them going, a two-way player as well. And obviously, he's the guy who's probably going to have a big game here this morning and early afternoon. Tate Olson on the other end for Northwoods, 6-foot junior. Had 6 threes yesterday in the quarterfinals. He's a lefty, hit some deep ones as well. And the only player, Dave, to make a 3. So he's going to have to get hot here this morning.
The players to watch are brought to you by Mills House. Try it out at the house.
Mentioned Minneapolis North are the defending champions of Class A. They won that title in 2016. It was their 6th overall championship. They're going for number 7. Northwoods, this is the first time they've ever danced at the state tournament. They are trying for what would be an incredible run to a first state championship. Let's meet the Polars and the Grizzlies with public address announcer Jim Burns.
Fans, good morning and welcome to the 2017 Minnesota Boys State Basketball Tournament. The city of Minneapolis and the Minnesota State High School League welcome you to the Target Center. Our upcoming matchup will feature the champions of Section 4 with a record of 31-2, the Minneapolis North Community High School Polars. And the champions of Section 7 with a record of 31-1, the Northwoods High School Grizzlies. And now let's meet today's starting lineups alternating by team. For the Polars, at a guard, a 6'3" junior, number 15, Taylor Johnson. For the Grizzlies, starting at a forward, a 5'11" junior, number 15, Tate Olson. For the Polars, starting at a guard, a 6'5" senior, number 35, Isaac Johnson. For the Grizzlies, starting at a guard, a 6'2" sophomore, number 23, Chase Kleppe. For the Polars, starting at center, a 6'6" junior, number 32, Odell Wilson IV. For the Grizzlies, starting at a forward, a 6'4" senior, number 44, George Bebo. For the Polars, starting at a guard, a 6'2" senior, number 4, Jaquan Sanders-Smith. For the Grizzlies, starting at a guard, a 6' sophomore, number 3, Cade Gogolai. And for the Polars, starting at a guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 12, Nasir El-Amin. And for Northwoods at a guard, a 5'10" junior, number 5, Brendan Parson. For Minneapolis North, the assistant coaches are Tyler Slick, Michael Shelton, and Sherman Patterson. The head coach of Minneapolis North is Larry McKenzie. And for Northwoods, the assistant coaches are Dan Squires, Jerry Shaboti, and Matt Bergman. The head coach of the Grizzlies is Will Kleppe. Our officials for this morning's matchup, from Brooklyn Park, Mike Thomas. From Sleepy Eye, Terry Helgett. And from Bloomington, Chuck Healy. And now, fans, we ask that you please rise. Please remove your hats. Under the direction of Larry Baker, please join the Northwoods High School Band as they honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to Championship Saturday here on 45 TV. And we are pleased to have you with wherever you're watching from today. The first game opens up with Minneapolis North and the Grizzlies from Northwoods, a newer school, right around 5 years old, located up there in Cook, Minnesota. So it's Orrin Cook and Nett Lake that have combined together to form this school. And they have just played lights out. And you're looking at Cade right there. That kid comes in a tournament with just 2 games where he wins games in each of them at a state tournament level. That's just unbelievable. You know, you dream about maybe one time. He's done it twice already. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Northwoods is going to have to play the best game of their season here against Minneapolis North to keep this close and potentially win this ball game. Big size advantage inside there for Minneapolis North as well, Dave, and that's they've been crunching people the last 2-3 weeks of this season into the sectionals and state tournament, so it's a tall order for the Grizz.
Starting lineups brought to you by Education Minnesota, the voice for professional educators and students. North quickly right to the bucket and a block to start the game by George Bebo's Odell Wilson, the fourth. Raul drove in, and George gets his hands up there, makes the block.
That's an interesting strategy for Larry McKenzie. Get the ball inside to the big fella quickly. You do it again.
Yeah, and the passing right away to Odell. 2-0 North.
Yeah, they're really looking for him, as they should. You know, it's kind of a nice little weapon to have a big guy, a back-to-the-basket player like Wilson that you can go to early on to establish that inside game. And then hopefully, I'm sure the athletes will take their cracks as well as this game wears on.
Tate Olson, the junior, had just an outstanding game yesterday. It was fun to watch. Dropped a lot of threes, but really was a contributor in every aspect of the game. Boy, they are way out on top. Break it out to defense. That's Elamine out there on top. Now they got that trap. Gagalai out. That's where he was hitting at Olson the other day, all his threes, and the rebound hauled down nicely by Chase Kleppe, and right back out to the corner. The open look for three, not going to go. Rebound again, hauled down by the Grizzlies. That's what we're talking about. Tate Olson all over the court, Kevin.
Look at how spread out they are. That spreads out the defense. Good spacing, and then there's opportunities that come from that spacing.
To the basket, and it won't go. Beautiful drive one more time. Oh, he's stepped on the line, or violation, turnover. Let's check your keys to the game, Kevin.
Well, Minneapolis North points off turnovers. That's huge. Offensive rebounds. They generate a lot of points from both of those keys. And then for Northwoods, they make some threes, and you got to take care of that basketball. So important. Keep, slow this game down. Try to, as much as you can, make North stay in those defensive situations and possessions, and see if you're going to get some good opportunities to score when you do that. If this turns into a track meet, North is going to blow this game wide open. But if you can make them play at a pace they're a little less comfortable at, then maybe the Grizzlies can hang around and keep it close.
The keys to the game are brought to you by Greater Twin Cities Honda. View aggressive lease and finance offers at Greater Twin Cities Honda Dealers.com. Well, here's your bracket for today. Coach McKenzie red hot right now with his team. So it's hot all happening right here.
Yeah.
And a fun tournament to watch, and it's all culminated with today's activities. We already just chatted about Kate Gagalai's shot in the first game, and then we mentioned his winning free throws in game 2, and that's those were the dramatic parts of those victories. But he'll be the first to tell you the whole team was part of it.
Yeah, and Goodhue, a team that made it to the championship game last year. How disappointing they're not playing here today.
Isaac Johnson, the 6'6" senior, with the dunk. 6-0 North.
Well,
the defensive pressure of North is so good. It was like 10-second violation. Wow. Good defense.
Well, once again, the pressure's coming. You know it's coming. Turnover occurs. North with good passing, good teamwork. They really play well together. And Isaac Johnson, once again, out on the break and finishing in a strong way.
Looking low. And Odell turnaround is going to be travel. I want to make sure that we're going to get a quick timeout here called by Northwoods. But I want to mention Aaliyah Hagelin and Karina Bristol and Lena Don and Madison Radiola. They are the team managers for Northwoods Grizzlies. They put a lot of work into their jobs all year long, and I want to make darn sure that they get the credit. They were so excited, Kevin, after the game yesterday. Just this genuine state tournament excitement, which you really did a nice job of explaining yesterday, how it's a community and it's your school, and there's just much more than you as one person, and you just see that, and you saw that in those 4 young ladies, how proud they were of their school.
Yeah, that's high school basketball right there, and we talked about it yesterday or day before, but that's the soul of high school sports, not just basketball, of sports. It's winning or losing with your buddies that you grew up with, and it's a community thing, especially these smaller communities. This is everything to them. Packing the gym in the middle of a January cold night and winning big games, and everybody kind of living and dying with the guys on the boys basketball team. It's high school basketball is, to me, maybe the best basketball there is. There's higher levels of basketball, but this is the best type of basketball.
Kevin, what are they going to have to do to get the ball up a little easier?
Now that's hard because North's quickness bothers pretty much everybody, and I mean it's in a simple way: take care of the basketball, slow them down, almost draw in a double team, and then make sure you're able to kick it out. Using pass fakes can help sometimes to get a defender to lean a certain way, and then you can make a pass. If they can pass out of that initial double team by Minneapolis North, Dave, and then make a second pass out of that, there's going to be open shots. But that's the key, that first trap that comes, you can't turn it over. And if you can take care of the basketball just enough, you can keep it close.
Well, trying to get it down low there. They finally get to Bebo. His first touch from the baseline and can't get it to fall. Rebound hauled down by the Grizzlies. And the outlet shot will not go. And there's Odell Wilson, the fourth. With the rebound, the outlet to Isaac Johnson. He'll push it down to the corner, and that shot will be for three, and it won't go. Rebound again by North. Up and in. And Taylor Johnson has 4 in the game, and quickly 8-0 for North. And there's a whistle. And, well, Elamina looks like he is shaken up, hurting. Yep, Elamina, a little injury timeout here. So we'll be right back after this. 8-0. 14:40 to go here in the first half, rather.
Welcome back to the Target Center for your first championship game of the day, where you're also about to see your first Cinderella story. We've talked about Northwoods being a new school at just 5 years old, and that this is their first state tournament appearance. But Coach Klepke told me that it's been a goal of his team all season long to just make it to Williams Arena. But what the unseeded team didn't know is that they would win their first 2 games in dramatic fashion and find themselves here at Target Center. Coach called this tournament run unbelievable, but said it's been moving so fast for them, it almost hasn't really even sunk in yet just how much this team has really accomplished here.
Well, thank you, Allie. And right now they're just trying to get that ball down to the baseline if they can. And there's a nice drive, and the runner is up. And we were impressed with Tate Olson yesterday, Kevin. No question about it.
Yeah, and it was important to get that first swoop, get the lid off the basket, and see what happens the rest of the game. But Tate Olson's a nice-looking player, lefty, good outside shooter, stuck 6 threes yesterday in the semis, so he's an important weapon here this morning.
North of that great defense, so quick on the hands too, and once they steal the ball, they're on their way down the court.
And they don't foul a lot too, Dave. If you notice, aggressive pressure defense, but they're not overly aggressive where they're fouling. Another basket off of a turnover, and that's just going to be the theme of this ball game. And so far, I mean, Northwoods just can't get down 20 points or 30 points here in the first half and expect to get back into this game. It's just not going to happen.
What a play by Odell Wilson, the fourth, quickly off to the right-hand side to Zion, and then they try to go down low and turnover that time. But 12-2, North is living up to the billing right now. Boy, they look good. That's a beautiful pass right there.
That really is. He can do more than just shoot the three. He's a playmaker as well.
And Bebo will shoot it from the outside. Too much. Rebound. Isaac Johnson. You can see as soon as he gets a rebound, he's moving. And there's Zion. The ball knocked loose. Again, that's Olsen. Then stolen back by Wilson. And on the scramble still, ball all over the place. Finally in the hands of North, and he can't get the shot. But another good board by Wilson. And Odell has 4. 14-2 North.
Well, that's what North does. They convert off of turnovers, and they keep possessions alive on offensive rebounds. And so far, that's those 2 things have been huge as far as their lead at this point.
Well, they're just picking the ball, and they go right down and lay it up. And there's a beautiful block that time by Cade Gogolai. He has the ball. They got a 5-on-4. They'll shoot the 3 the other way. It's too hard. Rebound again. Klepke keeps it alive. Gogolai, good outside shooter, too hard. And they drop back because they know that fast break's coming. And there it is, right down the court. Nothing there. One more time. Good position. And great effort by Taylor Johnson. He has 6 here in this 16-2 lead by North. Parson. Olsen. Parson. Again, another pass that's contested. Boy, Kevin, it just brings up what you've preached before. Maybe a fake just kind of a fake, and because these guys are so fast, you got to do something.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and they come so aggressively too. But again, they do a nice job of not foul. They play aggressive, but they don't foul a lot. But I mean, you asked me just a minute ago, Dave, how do you break this pressure? I think you got to kind of entice the double team. The second North defender has to come. And then the tricky part is you got to pass out of that first trap and then move the ball after that, and then you're going to get open shots. Now, you might not make the shot, but there's going to be some opportunities. But getting out of that first trap, another turnover here just because of the pressure, you rush, and that's a problem.
Here was the win against Central Minnesota Christian, and this is the game winner right there by Cade Gogolai.
50-footer.
And in the game yesterday, he hits the 2 winning free throws. That three-pointer on the way, and in, boy, Taylor Johnson starting out red hot. They returned to the state tournament for the first time since 03 last year, and then won it all, and now they're on a mission to get back-to-backers. As a nice pass and a layup put in. Olsen with the good dish over to Kleppe. 19-4. There's Isaac Johnson. Won't count. Fall before the shot.
Get a shot at Isaac Johnson right there, number 35, 6'6" senior, Division I player. And I think he's got a chance to be a good player, Dave, at that next level.
Timeout in the court. 19-4. North with the lead.
Here's a look back at last year's championship game. Brought to you by Old Dutch. Quality lives here.
In last year's Class 1A final, top-rated Minneapolis North put on a dunk clinic as they defeated Goodhue 68-45. It was the Polars' first title since 03. As they finished the season 29-5, they completed a 3-game tournament run behind 18 points from then junior guard Isaac Johnson. And he has matured into just a great basketball player, man. North with the lead and the ball here, 19-4. There's Johnson right there going halfway down the lane. Ball kicked out. Bebo gets it. They haven't been able to get George in the action too much here, Kevin.
No, that's you know, he's got a big body going up against him, so he's a big kid, but Wilson's a little bit bigger. But they need to get him the ball. That's a good point. You can change the pace of the game, and whether it's a post-up play or offensive rebound, like in that situation right there, he's got to play a role in this game. I mean, that's an important part of trying to change the pace of a fast game, is get the ball to your big guy inside, and I think that's where he needs to step up and play a role in this game.
Boy, Taylor Johnson missing that shot on the baseline, but he is really sparking this squad. Good save. Grizzlies have it. Down in the corner. Had the shot. Kleppe instead will move it over to his center and will use off the glass. Bebo makes it a 19-8 game. And North now will slow down a little bit. Sanford Giants come on. Elamine took a shot to the nose off the basketball earlier. In the mouth, I'm not sure exactly where he got hit, but right in the face somewhere. Kevin, he is not in there right now still.
Polars, I mean, they waste no time. Whether it's a turnover, a made shot, they are running. See, this situation right here, that first pass out of the double team is the important one. And if you're turning it over on that pass, it's going to be North running it down your throats. But if you can get it out of that first trap, then somebody else, the next pass occurs, then an open shot. That's a good example, and we're going to re-show that play right that we just saw, Dave. The initial trap by Minneapolis North comes. You get it out of that trap, make one more pass, and that next player is going to be open, which was Tate Olson, and he sticks the three. They need to do that a ton if they're going to challenge in this game.
Isaac Johnson off the glass. Got the ball hit, and he maintained his focus and used the glass to put it in. Cade Gogolai, the 6-foot, he's just a sophomore, already the leading scorer on this team, and that shot's off the money.
That's a good pass.
Yeah, great pass. Double team down in the corner. Kleppe's in trouble. Jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Grizzlies. Closed captioning brought to you by Touchstone Energy. Together, we save.
Well, a little run here by the Grizzlies. That's showing some life. Hopefully they're just not going to lay down. I don't anticipate they will, because they got some fighters on this team that have some talent. And they need to battle this entire ball game.
Tate Olson, big key in the win yesterday. Out on top, that is Brendan Parson looking over to Gogolai. Now he'll pop that long distance three, and that's off the front. Big rebound. Gogolai, good runner to the hoop, won't go. And on the rebound, the battle for it. Isaac Johnson, pass. And the alley-oop, it's what it looked like initially in the alley-oop, but Sanders Smith put it in for the layup. I thought he was going to throw it over the top for the dunk, Kevin.
I think he changed his mind as he went. The defender kind of sunk back and going to take away the alley-oop. He was sniffed it out what was going to happen, and I think the Minneapolis North player just kind of lobbed it up to the rim, and it goes in.
And there he goes again, right in for the layup. Isaac Johnson with 8 points. Gogolai will be guarded now by Elamine back in the ball game. And again, another steal. Gets it back. Now they got an open shot for Tate Olson, and it's on the way. And boy, he's got a nice outside shot.
Okay, once again, you get it out of that initial trap. That second defender comes over there, and that player is going to be open, or after one more pass. And boy, it seems like the Grizzlies have on a little run right now, Dave, and they've kind of relaxed into this game a little bit. That's a good sign.
Olsen got a fast break. He's got a 3-on-1. And the shovel pass. They'll pop it from the outside. And it's good for two off of the hands of Brendan Parson. 27-16.
13 yesterday in the semis, 14 in the quarterfinal win. So he's used to putting up some points.
Three-pointer, nice touch. Sanders Smith. He's already got 9 points in the game. Long pass to get over the top, though. Parson. There's Olsen in the lane, and his runner off the glass gets it right back to Kleppe does. Gogolai needs some help. Parson. Olsen picked up now.
Good ball movement. Just
Tanner locking down on that low post, Kevin.
Yeah, that's right. Slow it down. Nothing wrong with that. It's changing the pace of this game. Execute. Take your time. When you got a good shot, you take it. Don't be passing up open shots.
Well, keep in mind the Grizzlies too average 82 points a game.
Yeah.
So like North, they like to go up and down. North averages 83. There's a long distance three, short, and here comes Johnson pushing it down. Isaac inside, driving, won't go. On the rebound, the battle, Odell Wilson, the fourth. Over to Isaac Johnson. Boy, he saw him as he's falling, dished off the pass beautifully. And Johnson with 10 points in the game here in this first half. 32-16.
All right,
North with the lead.
Let's see if that second player comes over here from Minneapolis North. Dugliad did a nice job of keeping a defender away. Watch this little play by North. He was initially going to lob it up for the alley-oop, but okay, I'll take the shot.
Well, the fan cam is brought to you by 45 TV, and joining the crowd from the Institute of Laughter is Dr. Chuck Ells. I saw him on the initial shot. I don't know where. Chuck, there he is. There he is. It's early 11 o'clock game, man. It's hard to get to everything going here, isn't it? The hour earlier than normal, even noon not easy. But whoa, Olsen from way downtown.
That's obviously too deep for him. I mean, he's got to shoot the ball, but he's 26, 27 footers. He needs to move in a step or two.
From the corner, won't go. Rebound. Parson. Beeble. Shy, and he screened out too, couldn't get in on the follow-up. So Elamine has it and bring it down court. From the corner, Isaac Johnson. That shot is rebounded beautifully underneath, Kevin, by Marquise Holloman. He was, even though it didn't even hit the iron, he was there ready to grab that thing.
Yep. Yeah, that's another area where North is pretty devastating offensively. They might miss that initial shot, but got some long and lanky athletes that are hungry to scoop up offensive rebounds. And once again, that's another good part of what Minneapolis North does, is their activity on the glass.
Bowlers had 56 at halftime yesterday in their semifinal victory when they scored 100. Right now 35-16, 4:58. Grizzlies coming down the court with the basketball. Nice looking squad this year. Oh man, have they done well. Rejection, and that's off of the 6'8" junior's outstretched arms. Dakai Hines getting a piece of that one right there.
Get a second look at this as Olsen. Yeah, that's just not going to work. You know, got to number one, shuffle it out to your buddy who's open for that corner jumper, or use a shot fake if you're going to take that shot. Get the big defender up in the air and maybe draw a foul.
Parson with the ball. Olsen looking for a little help from somebody, and he's not going to get it. The most comprehensive prep sports show in the market is Minnesota Prep Spotlight, Sunday nights at 9:30 on 45 TV. State tournament, state championship. It's championship Saturday here on 45 TV. Glad to have you with wherever you're watching, right here, Minneapolis, St. Paul, or points well beyond, up north, down south, east or west, and in other states too, I know. And Minneapolis North, the much talked about program, is living up to the billing here. But the Grizzlies have picked up that tempo quite a bit after the first 5-6 minutes, Kevin.
Yeah, they have. They've kind of gotten into this game a little bit. The margin for error is pretty small for them, and they've turned the ball over a number of times. It's fed into that North break, but it seems like they've calmed down a little bit more, spread out that North defense, and see what they can get offensively. This kid is really important. Tate Olsen making shots.
Parson trying to drive Odell Wilson. The fourth ties him up, but there's a foul though with a body apparently prior to that play. The thing is, Kevin, you come down on offense and it's like you're always in a hurry, and because their defense is so tough.
And we're going to see a lot of that today. I mean, Minnehaha Academy is going to do that in the next ball game this afternoon. I mean, what about De La Salle and Austin? I mean, how exciting is that game going to be?
I can't wait.
I know that, and even Apple Valley. So I mean, that's what's fashionable right now in the sport of basketball at the youth levels. It's pressure, create turnovers so you can run and play fast and transition and dunk and shoot threes and transition. I mean, kids love to play that way, and coaches, more and more coaches that are coming up in this generation are playing that type of basketball. And you know, it's funny, the game has been played so fast that almost it's going to happen, Dave, at some point where a team is going to be so good at slowing it down, they're going to make a team uncomfortable that wants to constantly run. But you got to be able to do it, slow down well enough to take away those type of teams. But that'll eventually happen. The game kind of grows and evolves in different ways, and right now we're in the fast generation.
There's Squires breaks that trap. They get it over and move it around quickly, and following your advice, and only to travel. Timeout. 37-17. Minneapolis North. The Bowlers with the lead over the Grizzlies of Northwoods. Let's look at these turnovers, Kevin. It's just crucial when North plays. You got to control them, and it's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to because they're so active and they play aggressively, and they get so much offense from turning you over like this through their pressure, and they make you play fast and you get rushed. That's a rush play pass right there by Guglielmi. But you know, again, watch when the Northwoods guards pick up the basketball, then they get just converged upon. They got to keep that dribble alive as Elamine makes that shot. Keep the dribble alive and actually dribble backwards. Pull the two players with you, and then you can keep that dribble going, and you have more options to go to. But when you pick up the dribble, then they just converge. Then you're in big time trouble.
Squires loses the dribble. Elamine picks it up. Let's go to Alley on the court.
Dave, you touched on it earlier, how this is North's last game in 1A. They've finally been bumped up to 2A. I asked Coach McKenzie about this, thoughts on the move, and he said, you know, I really wanted to move up to 3A, but he said for whatever reason that didn't happen. He said they are pretty happy, though, that they're in a different section than Minnehaha Academy, so that maybe we can see some fun matchups between them in future state tournaments.
Yeah, and one of the things you see around the Metro, they do schedule each other a lot. These teams play each other a lot. And it's fun as a fan, particularly in the Metro, because you get to see all the levels going at it against each other. You know, nice drive by Wilson.
Yeah, able to finish potential three-point play. What Allie was talking about, I was kind of hoping they'd move up to 3. I mean, imagine a De La Salle, Minneapolis North. That could be a great rivalry in Class 3. I mean, they'd both be still winning state championships. I mean, North is just overwhelmed with where their program is going and the job that Larry McKenzie has done. They're overwhelming the single class, this class right now. They need, I was kind of hoping they'd move up 2 classes, and I think eventually that will happen because I think North will move up to Class 2, and the same thing is going to happen, and they'll be dominant, and moving up to 3 eventually is my hope, and I think that will be a good spot for them.
Gagalai trying to dribble out of trouble, and it's going to result in another turnover. And here comes Isaac Johnson. Isaac with the layup, but he is fouled. Isaac will go to the free throw line. And Isaac Johnson, some of you that follow high school basketball may remember his uncle, Sly. He's a star over at Central. They went over to Wyoming and played at Wyoming.
Hello.
Yep. So Uncle Sly, pretty good ball player. In fact, I was talking to his dad, Ken. I said, "Is all the talent from Isaac coming from you?" He said, "No, probably his uncle."
But I wonder if
Ken was a player too. So.
I wonder if Sly played with Chris Engler, Stillwater's finest, the 7-footer. I'd be interested. I know Chris started his career when he came out of Stillwater High School back in the late 70s, made his way to Minnesota, played for the Gophers for a couple years, and he transferred out to Wyoming and had a couple good years out there with Wyoming, and then played 4 or 5 years in the NBA as well.
No, they may have crossed paths.
Yeah.
Inside, Grizzlies, nice turnaround jumper. Good look there that time for Chase Kleppe.
Nice little pull-up jump shot, just kept it simple and shot with confidence.
Quick hands that time, Parson, and driving in, ball stripped. What a play by El-Amin to stop the layup the other way down. And then off of the knee of the Grizzlies, and that's going back to North.
Well, good hands there by Parson, charging down the floor. And look at that hustle by El-Amin just to get back. Great play, all basketball, and Parson ended up kneeing it out of bounds. That was a great individual defensive play there by El-Amin.
Yeah, 2 of them, Parsons to steal, and then all of a sudden El-Amin, and you just don't give up, do you? And that's, I guess, an example of this quickness that this team has on offense and defense. From the corner, the shot not going to go. Look at Johnson, follow up on the board, and then knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. 1:27 left in the first half. North with a commanding lead here in the state championship game. Johnson, good looking bounce pass. Sanders Smith follows it up with a layup.
Yeah. Nice, beautiful bounce pass there by Taylor Johnson. Right to the baseline for a little reverse scooper.
Olsen to Bebo. There, George gets in the mix and gets the layup. He has 6.
Well,
minute to go.
I think as much as possible, get it down to Big George. Even if he doesn't, take the shot, good things can happen against that defense if he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he and Odell, a pretty good matchup down there. 2 strong guys.
Yeah.
Both with athleticism. That baseline jumper is up and in by Sanders Smith. Boy, Jaquan having a strong first half. Oh boy, that was anticipated by Johnson, and he missed that left-hand runner, but the strong follow by Sanders Smith. And now you've got a 2-on-2 break.
Yeah.
And Johnson steals that pass.
A part of this too, when you're the Grizzlies, you're trying to get back into this game, and you have a tendency when you're on offense to try to get offensive rebounds, and that just destroys your balance defensively. North is going to go charging down the floor as soon as they get possession of the ball, but you got to make sure you get enough defenders back so it's not just uncontested dunks and layups.
Nasser El-Amin with the basketball in the final 7. 5 seconds to Isaac Johnson. Backs it up for that long 3. And a rebound hauled down by North, and the tip is going to count. Odell Wilson, the 4th. And that's what they had yesterday at halftime. 50 points. And they'll walk into the locker room with a 50-21 lead in the first half of this State A championship game from Target Center. And Allie is going to be down along the sideline here in a second, having a conversation with head coach Will Kleppe when we get an opportunity to head on down and talk to her. 50-21.
Larry McKenzie's going to keep his guys on the floor, Dave, and Just see if this is going to count. We'll get a great shot of it right here.
They're going to relook at it right now.
I think that looks like it's good. That's really close. Oh. It's not going to count. Yeah, he's touching it.
Yeah, that. Let's see what they're going to decide. Let's go down to Allie first, and we'll let you know after that.
All right, Coach, this is a big game. You've made it to the championship, and your boys are playing their hearts out.
They are. They're doing everything we've asked them to do so far. You know, we're struggling against their defense, but you know, they're very good. So, you know, we're just going to keep looking for those opportunities to get the ball on the rim. I think we're doing a great job rebounding. You know, and they're scoring. They get out in transition. They get to the basket hard. So we're doing everything we can right now.
Do you think you guys would fare better forcing the perimeter or getting into the paint?
You know, we're trying a little of both. You know, we're trying to spread their defense out a little bit, trying a little dribble penetration and kick to our shooters, but they recover well. So, you know, the opportunities come super quick, and we're not quite used to that yet. So we're going to have to adjust at halftime.
We appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Allie, and thank you, Coach Kleppe, who's done a masterful job with this Norfolk Grizzly team. They normally give up 49 points a game on defense, and right now Minneapolis North has 48. That last bucket, they ruled did not count. Good replay by our crew, man. Our crew was had great angles on it, as they usually do. And this is a championship crew that gives you all these technical shots from cameras and all the things that they're doing down there. And they were able to determine that that shot was not good by giving the officials a good look at it. So first half, 48-21, North with the lead. Much more coming up next at halftime.
27-point lead for Minneapolis North here at halftime of the Class A championship game. They are out in front of Northwoods 48-21. Leah B. Olson and Trent Tucker joining me. Leah, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, it's just so hard. That Polar defense is so intense. You know, it's forcing them to turn the ball over time and time again, and shooting 31% from the field. It's so difficult to get any offense rolling with that.
Yeah, steals 7-2 in favor of Minneapolis North. Trent, your thoughts?
Minneapolis playing their game, pressure defense, forcing turnovers, get out and run, and when things break down and they go to half-court basketball, let's throw it inside to Odell Wilson.
Northwoods fell behind early, tried to cut into it a bit. They got out in front, or they got out to that bit of a rally, thanks in part to Tate Olson. We've seen him have a couple good games. He leads them right now, Leah. He's got 8 points so far.
Yeah, nice finesse getting into the lane and then showing that he has a quick release when he's outside. So his ability to hit some big shots was fun in the first half for Northwoods.
Got that three-point stroke going. Hit 6 of them in their last game. And then there's George Bebo, the only senior on the team.
Yeah, and he has been tough inside. He's a nice matchup down low. He's a strong physical player.
Trent, we talked about Minneapolis North's Odell Wilson. He just shows how varied his game can be.
I mean, he's a very good offensive player down low. He uses his body very well to get himself in position to carve out some space to score in the lane. But we all know about this pressure defense that North can bring. And when they can force you to turn the ball over and get out and run and get some easy baskets, they become very tough to deal with.
Wilson has 8 points, 5 rebounds. Isaac Johnson, 11 points and 4 rebounds. Jaquan Sanders-Smith has 15 points to lead the Polars here at halftime. The stats are brought to you by U.S. Bank, the power of possible. Leah, you showed what that defense can do just in the turnovers, creating those, and also second chance points there.
Well, and it's just so deflating because it just keeps you from getting anything rolling in the second half. If they can just move that ball and hit a few big shots, I think that would be fun to bring them back into it.
Trent?
And that's how you shoot 58% from the field, 16 points off of turnovers and 15 second chance points.
58%, despite the fact they took that last one off the board. Would have helped that shooting percentage a little bit. North's up 48-21, halftime of the Class A championship. Give you a little preview of a later game. The 3A championship will feature De La Salle going for a 6th straight championship. They are led by Goner Marr. He had 20 points, 15 rebounds in their 86-60 semifinal win over a very strong Columbia Heights team. Goner Marr, one of the best players in the state. He is a Mr. Basketball finalist. Austin, on the other hand, boy, a traditional program. Been to state so many times. They have the Gotch brothers, Booth and Doth. These guys are electric. Duth had 29 points. Booth had 7 assists. I'd bet at least 6 of those, including that one off the backboard. Does that count as an assist that was on the backboard, or was that a missed shot. I don't know how they figure those. Anyway.
Assist and rebound.
That'll work, yeah. These two guys are fun to watch. Great supporting cast of the Austin Packers as they make a return to the state championship game. You see De La Salle's path through the bracket. Austin as well. They are the #1 and #2 seed. Leah, we were both talking during this game. The Gotch brothers, we were not ready for what they can pull off.
Yeah, I agree. They're going to be tough and they're fun and they got a lot of length. That's going to be a great matchup.
Twin brothers, they've got that connection. Let's head down to Allie.
Coach, a pretty dominant performance by your team in the first, forcing 13 turnovers. Your thoughts on that first half?
Well, I mean, we're playing the kind of defense that we want to play, you know, but the game's not over. So I always tell our kids the first half is exhibition. Don't mean anything. We got to play the last 18 minutes.
All right, good luck in the second, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, here at Target Center, the crowd filling in again now for game 2. Well, we saw a massive crowd from Crosby Ironton last night and Minnehaha Academy, so it's great to see this kind of activity inside the Target Center. And it's, Kevin, real interesting to watch this intense offense and defense, full court pressure from Minneapolis North, as Larry McKenzie pointed out. That's the whole goal, make it not easy for anybody either end.
Yeah, let's kind of go through a play here that we witnessed in the first half, Dave. And this is a good example. We're going to see this a lot this entire day. How you break teams that trap and pressure you is, okay, the first trap, the first two players, the ball's going to get trapped. Make that first pass out of that, and then a second pass after that, and that's where the opening is going to occur. We're going to check this out one more time. The trapping North players are coming over. And that's the crucial play right there. You can't turn it over on that initial trap, but once you get it out of there with the first pass, make one more pass to an open teammate. Now you got to make the shot, which Tate Olson does, but that's how you break pressure. We're going to see the same thing in the Minnehaha game coming up here next, and we'll see it. Same thing with De La Salle and Austin. We're going to see this a ton. A lot of times that turnover, Dave, occurs on that initial trap, and then North is out and running and dunking on you. But if you can make it out of that first group of pressure that's coming at you, move the ball a little bit, then there's openings to make a play or make a shot. So we'll see if the Grizz can do a better job of that here in the second half.
Well, I'm sure that was part of the discussion at halftime, and we're going to see if you can, you know, it's Northwood's Grizzlies have come in here, as I mentioned, at the end of the first half, Kevin. They give up 49 points a game. Yeah, North has 48 after one half.
Yeah, they're a little stunned to begin this game, and I think they've settled in a bit better and went on a little run of their own, but they're still down huge.
A good drive, but too much on it. Rebound hauled down by Taylor Johnson. Taylor had 9 in that first half. And quickly down, Isaac Johnson's shot is blocked by Cade Gagalai, out of bounds. It'll go right back to North.
Take a look at his stat sheet when it comes to shooting the basketball. That's pretty typical from the other games that he's played this tournament, Dave. It's a variety of places. He's a three-point shooter. He's got some deep range, but also makes it happen around the basket as well.
Minneapolis City Conference Player of the Year. Another whistle. And a foul. This will be against Grizzlies. And it'll be on Gagalai. So at the free throw line, you got Jaquan Sanders-Smith. He had 15 points in the first half. And just adds to that total. That's actually, you know what was, Kevin, that first half, hardly any free throw shot. 1 for 2 for the Grizzlies, 2 for 4 for Minneapolis North. You know, I love games where they can just, for the most part, play.
Yeah, not a lot of stoppages because of fouls. I mean, it was a clean, quick first half. Look at the stat sheet. You're rarely going to see this about. I'm looking at the first half stats right now. More offensive rebounds for both teams than defensive. North had 12 offensive rebounds in the first half. Northwoods had 10. And once again, beating the pressure by getting out of that first wave of defense, moving the basketball once you do, and then there's going to be an open shot.
That's 2 threes right there that happened. One on the other side of the B-bow, and then Johnson here on the other side. And now Tate Olson will have a look. And we've got a little exhibition going on all of a sudden. 3 threes in a row. Great outside shooting on that exchange. And there's Johnson trying to go to Wilson, the fourth underneath the bucket. He's in a tough spot, but he got the shot off. and was tied up right underneath the basket, so hard to get the good angle.
Once again, here we go. We're going to watch these two North players coming over to press. You kind of keep the dribble alive. There's the first pass. There's the second pass. That's the open shot. That needs to be done a ton in the second half here if the Grizz are going to get back into this game, Dave. They can't afford to turn the ball over 13 times like they did in the first half and expect to make a game of this. If they can value that basketball, take care of it, they should be okay.
Parson, there goes that trap, and he gets it to Olsen. He got bumped, and Elamine going for the steal. Just got behind the body, and that'll be a foul on the Polar, so the ball being bounded, but that's exactly what they were trying to do again down there.
And that's typically a good spot to go to when you're breaking full court press or a half court, a three-quarter court type of trap or press. Get the ball to the middle of the court, then you have more options to go to, and you avoid a trapping situation in the corners or along the sideline.
Goggle-Eye, the three. Keep in mind, he's the leading scorer, all-time leading scorer at the school, breaking his brother's record, and he's only a sophomore. Stolen. Bebo. He's got a 2-on-2 break. George to the hoop and missed it. Rebound hauled down. Boy, Elamine trying to take the charge. They continue to play.
That was a good no call, too. Play on.
Johnson to the hoop, swatted away by Kleppe, and then out of bounds off the Grizzlies. How about Kleppe getting up for the block there? Chase is 6'2". And by the way, he's also a sophomore, so it isn't like the Grizzlies are going to have an empty cupboard next year.
Exactly right. They've had a few blocks against the North players. It's been good to see that they're going up aggressively against a team that gets it done.
Oh, he's got a good-looking shot. Isaac Johnson, 16 points in the game. Comes the pressure. Tate Olsen with it. Right back to Goggle-Eye. He'll have to go back to retrieve it, but here comes that trap. There's Parson.
There we go.
And there we go. Big George in the corner and in and out. You can't shoot it any better than that without it going down.
Yep. And good execution, breaking the trap once again.
Look at the moves by Johnson, but he can't get it to fall. Bebo, solid, firm rebound, and here come the Grizzlies on a bit of a fast break. Goggle-Eye for another three. Not going to go. Rebound knocked out of bounds off the hands of Northwoods out of the Arrowhead Conference, where they went 10-1 this year and beat Central Minnesota Christian in that dramatic finish in the quarterfinals by a score of 54-51.
If George Bebo, who was kind of leading the break that last possession, had he looked to his right instead of his left, he would have recognized Tate Olsen wide open. He could have pulled the trigger on another three here, but decided to go the other side of the court, but Olsen was open for a shot.
54-30, the Polars with the lead. They'll have the basketball. Sanford Zion, the junior, will come back in to toss the ball into Jaquan Sanders Smith in this state championship game. Both teams have rituals. Before every game, the Grizzlies have that Snicker bar, and the Polars have kind of a word of the day thing. It's a neat.
Kind of like you and I.
It's exactly like you and I used to do for many years when we broadcast together, Kevin, and we had a little word of the game that only you and I would know. And they have a word of the game involving motivation. It's kind of a neat little tradition that they both have. Zion with the bucket. North with the lead. Grizzlies with the ball from Northwoods. 31-1 coming into this game for Northwoods.
Yeah, that's trouble. Into that corner. You want to avoid the corners along the baseline there, but they got out of it in that situation. But keep the ball in the middle of the court as much as possible. Tate
breaking through the middle. Back over to Cade. Guarded out there by Sanford. Back to, that is Parsons. That's a long downtown three, and knocked out of bounds off of Northwoods. Championship Saturday back here on 45 TV. Great to have you with wherever you're at this afternoon. Got some good games and coming up here in the States. They're all state championships today. Right now we're in the 1A. We started out 11 o'clock this morning. A little time shift here a couple years ago. There's Isaac Johnson with the ball, driving, and can't get it to fall, but he did draw the foul underneath, so he'll go back over to the free throw line and shoot a couple. Isaac averages 22 a game. He has had 28 and 29-point efforts for Larry McKenzie in the state tournament, and he is fired up. Chat with him before the game. He is really excited to go to Western Illinois.
Yeah, as he should. He's going to be a good player at that next level. You know, one thing that really impresses, a few things. He's got some size, and he's obviously athletic. We've seen him with a variety of dunks here in the state tournament, and he's a two-way player. You know, if he's just doing what he does offensively and is indifferent towards the defensive end and what's going on there, that's one thing. But he gets it done on both ends of the floor, Dave. He's got a chance to have a really good college career at Western Illinois. Ooh, a little zone defense. We haven't seen too much of this out of North.
Wow. Goggle eye. When he hit that three-pointer to win the game, it really wasn't a huge accident because he's got that long shot. And then Isaac returns a favor. So what, 23-9 for the NBA line? What do you think that one was? 26-7-8, somewhere in there?
Yeah, I mean, these kids, it's amazing how deep their range is now, even though they might not look like big, strong guys. But
that same distance.
Yeah, just firing it up and in rhythm.
Isaac this time to the hoop, carries the ball through everybody, and there's Odell Wilson, the fourth. By the way, Odell's dad played football at Penn State, mom played basketball for the Golden Gophers, so there's talent in that family.
He's got a chance, Dave, Big Wilson, to play at the college level. I like the look of his talent.
Yeah, he's solid. He's only a junior.
Yeah.
6'7". There's Bebo from the free throw line. One and done. Here comes Johnson with a bounce pass. And then right back, good no-look pass. Wilson with it, stolen by Bebo, and now stolen back. And then knocked loose. Boy, quick hands from both squads. It's just a series of knocking like a pinball machine down underneath there. And then one more time. It went off the bumper, and it's going to be a Grizzly basketball.
Look at that. That was 25, 26 feet. And watch this, how quickly North can strike. I mean, what, 5 seconds from the time that you don't have many moments to celebrate that deep three by Guglia, and Isaac Johnson's dialing it up. Get the ball to the free throw line. That's a good spot against the zone. Or just jack the three and make that, Dave. How about that?
That's Brendan Parson with the shot. It's nothing but threes in the second half so far, by the way, for Northwoods. That's all they've shot here, and they've been making them. No two-point field goals at this point in this second half.
Both teams moving to a zone. That's interesting.
Isaac Johnson, he's just got it down, man. And there's a timeout on the court. 66-36 is our score.
Basically an even game here in the second half, and that's a good sign. But they're in a big hole right now, folks. 30 points, and they got to keep chipping away at this as much as possible.
North hasn't missed a three in the second half, 3 of 3. And Northwoods is 5 of 9 on the triples in half number 2. With the ball, that is Parsons. That's Katie. Over in the corner.
Back to the man-to-man now here for Minneapolis North.
Going to look for something. That's Tate Olson. Ugly eye back out on top. Nice little matchup out there. But one of the fun things of this tournament are the games within the game. Watching some of these one-on-one matchups with some of the best talent in the state going at it.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, the Grizzlies have done a much better job here in the second half, Dave, of taking care of the ball. They just seem, like you said, much more composed, and they haven't been sped up as much.
Oh, nice pass by Olsen, and Bebo in the corner. That's a two-pointer for George. Yeah. You can see why this team has 31 victories. Yeah, exactly. And that three-pointer just perfect by Sanders Smith. He's having a 19-point afternoon so far for Jaquan.
He kind of does it quietly, too. I mean, the focus is on, you know, Isaac Johnson or Wilson inside, and Sanders Smith is getting it done as well.
And there he is all by himself, and he'll lay it up off the glass. 21 points in the game, 71-38. Haven't seen as much of that quick fast break stuff in the second half that we saw in the first, but it was absolutely frantic out here. North was doing.
That's a big reason, as boy, Guglia jacks up another one from deep, but that's because the Northwoods hasn't turned the ball over as much, and they're making more shots too, so it's a little harder to run on made shots.
Rebound, Tanner Locken. And here they come. A no-look pass to Locken. Almost ran past it. Now he'll back it up. That shot might have been blocked on the rebound. Zion. Odell Wilson off the left hand takes the foul from behind. So Odell Wilson, the fourth with 13. He's had a heck of a tournament too. 21 in game 1, 22 in game 2.
Big fella running the floor. My thing is, you know, when big guys are running the floor, you got to reward them. So when Odell Wilson's charging down the floor, putting forth a big effort to find an opening, those guards got to get him the ball, which they did in that situation, and got to reward him.
1 for 2 from the line today. Rebound hauled down by Kleppe. He'll clear it off to Tate Olson. Olson's a junior, as I mentioned. I like his game, Kevin.
Yeah. You know, he kind of shoots. His mechanics are a little like Blake Hoffarber. I'm not going to say he can shoot like Blake, but he shoots in a similar fashion as Hoffarber's lefty jumper.
Stolen. Gogla has it. Over to Olson. Olson going to push it down. And the ball goes off the foot of the Grizzlies. Timeout. 9:29 to go. 73-38. North trying to repeat as champions. Let's check out this afternoon's game summary. It is brought to you by Catholic United Life Insurance, annuities, and retirement products.
Yeah, Johnson, Sanders, Smith, Odell Wilson has been a big factor inside as well. I mean, the second chance points, that's been a big part of this ball game. Tate Olson shooting the jump shot. Big George getting it done inside. The Grizzlies at certain situations have had some nice block shots inside. A couple against Isaac Johnson. We've got some good athletes out here with Northwoods, and they're not hesitating, Dave, as far as getting up there to block a shot or two. I like that.
Dakai Hines back in and kicks it back out to Sanders Smith. He's a senior, by the way, and he is having his best game of this state tournament so far. Brendan Parson. Oh boy, that's the thing that Johnson does well, anticipates. Frustrated that he didn't get it, but
that might be the key to all these games here today, whether it's this one or the next one with Minnehaha or the De La Salle Austin game or the big one tonight, but just how you handle pressure and turning the ball over, points off turnovers.
Isaac Johnson with the pass. He'll put it up, miss it, but he'll follow his own miss and get that one. We are in the running time now, Kevin.
Yep, 35-point lead, under 9 minutes in the second half. And North just has turned into a track meet for too much of this ball game, and that's led to the big lead.
Well, just can't even hang on to rebounds right now, and this is what North does defensively, man. They can rattle you. We've seen it all year long with these guys, and that'll be a travel right there. But so the Grizzlies had a good rhythm going there for a little while, and then North just go, man, they go into spurts, Kevin, and it, just like Minnehaha Academy that you referenced, they could all of a sudden you. A minute and a half later, you look in the clock saying, when did we become 10, 12, 20 points down?
Yeah,
that's how they did it.
Yeah, and the margin for error is so small. You got to play, play perfect almost. You got to play fast when that's necessary. You got to slow it down and change the pace of the game when necessary. You got to make enough shots when you're open. I mean, you just have to play so well as Guglielmi hits another outside shot. He's a nice looking player.
He's got 9 points in the game. That's on 3 threes. That parade of threes continues in the second half for the Grizzlies, and that's almost an over back save nicely by Johnson. Off to Sanders Smith, and the no-look pass. Hines' shot will not go. Rebound hauled down off to Kleppe, and here comes Olson. Grizzlies pushing up a little bit, but back in a hurry on defense. Tried to ride it off the glass, got the side of the backboard right in the hands of Isaac Johnson. And he'll take it up slowly and pop that long distance three. Ball tipped out. That's a defensive play out there by Marquise Holloman who made that happen for the Polars. And now he traveled.
Nasser El-Amin. Dad is Khalid Al-Amin and shoots a similar way and got the same type of body type as well.
Welcome back to 45 TV. This is today's play of the game, and it's brought to you by Minnesota Rusco since 1955.
Just a mere few seconds into this game, Isaac Johnson's already flushing it home with 2 hands, and Minneapolis North on its way unless something drastic happens here, they're going to win their second consecutive state championship in Class 1A.
Well, they won the opening game 93-46 over Red Lake last night, 100-56 over Springfield. And their margin of victory in the playoffs is well over 50 points a game.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just unheard of.
It's time to move up, and my hope is, I know they're going up to 2A, but going up to 3A, I think hopefully that will be a home for them.
Finally missed one. He's just been red hot, Sanders Smith. That one bounces off the rim, hauled down by the Grizzlies, trying to avoid that trap. There's Parson. And we get the exact numbers for you. Let's try to go over 60.
Look at that. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is you come into this class and you stomp on everybody and beat them by 60 points. I mean, that's not. I mean, it's fun to win state championships, but at the same time, you want to be pushed. I mean, that's how the best gets pulled out of you, is when you go up against good competition. And I don't know how long it'll take to find the right home for Minneapolis North, but they'll eventually get there. I mean, I just think 3A would be a good home, because then you got a De La Salle, Minneapolis North, and those would be great matchups. And but let's face it, North, Dave, can play with a lot of 4A teams and beat a lot of 4A teams too. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they eventually end up. But yeah, this is they shouldn't be staying in this class. I know that, which they're not.
Bebo got a shot off the pass from Olsen. Well, I just want to make sure I give Larry McKenzie credit. He returned them to this glory, because they had not been in a state tournament last year since 03. And he just turned them right into a powerhouse. Gogliai got it off the glass. Cade. Whoa. Man, Gogliai can shoot.
Yeah, and it's not 14 footers. It's 28 footers, like that last one.
Larry McKenzie wants a timeout, but I mentioned Larry last year. They got into the state tournament after a long absence, and now their domination continues here with an 84-46 lead. Second half, three-point shooting's been quite a spectacle.
Yeah, and it's not just one or two guys. It's a variety of players. Isaac Johnson, googly-eyed, Tate Olson, Johnson with another deep three, Sanders Smith. It's been, look at the Grizz are out shooting Minneapolis North from three here in the second half.
Tate Olson from downtown Minneapolis. Must have seen that video clip. You know, for a little while there, reminded me of the Armstrong Buffalo game years ago when you and I called. And that was back and forth of those great shooting, and everybody in the team was shooting it. It went on for a little longer period than that. It was just wonderful. These kids, there's some talent on the court, both sides. Rebound by Bebo.
You remember that exact stretch in that state championship game? That was what
he's going to pop the three, Kevin.
Yeah, they're just kind of jacking up whatever shot at this point. But that game, remember, everybody for about a 4-minute stretch, all those threes made in that state championship game. There was a timeout. The entire Target Center gave both teams a standing ovation. Do you remember that day? That was
yes.
That was
unsolicited. Everybody just stood up.
That was one of the greatest basketball games, regardless of level, that I've ever witnessed in person. That was a tremendous state championship game.
Jaquan Sanders Smith saved his best for last. He had an outstanding game today with 24 points. Also in the game, Glenn Carter has entered the game for North. That is Trajan Holloman will toss it in. He's got Eli Campbell in there with him. Also Decoy Hines, the 6'7" junior. And bringing the ball up, Campbell, 5'9" sophomore. That's Glenn Carter out there on that wing. Back out to Campbell on the top. Back to Carter. Going to go down low and picked off by Tate Olson.
Larry McKenzie looked at his player. What are you doing?
Well, there's Marquise Holloman down on the steal. Hangs up in here, draws a fall off Olson.
Like Larry's he's sporting the Nikes. He's got some tennis shoes on right now, which is becoming rather fashionable for college coaches.
Yeah, and the scorers table, a ton of guys at the scorers table got the nice suits on, and they're wearing these tennis shoes. There's Larry's.
That'd be hilarious if Larry just ripped off his dress pants right now because they were snap-ons, and then got on the court himself and schooled everybody. That's what he needs to do.
That'd be hilarious, but that'd be a serious
violation.
Foul of sorry. I don't know what the technical call would be.
Somebody talk to the high school
Look
league.
at this. This is what it's all about, right there.
These kids are going to be happy, surprising everybody. Yeah, it's disappointing you're not going to be a state champ, but you got all the way to this point, and they're having fun.
Let's go down to Alley courtside.
Dave and Kevin, we know this Minneapolis North team is a dominant force on the court, but off the court, Coach McKenzie says his boys are also dominating in the classroom. 13 of the 14 kids on the team are on the A or B honor roll, with that last guy, he says, just barely making it. And not only that, all of his seniors are going to college where they're going to continue to play either basketball or football. You could just see the pride on McKenzie's face, seeing that his team and his school prevail after some really tough times.
Dylan Chaboti had the ball there. He's coming to the ball game. He's saying Ian Sherman's going to come on in. So is TJ Chaboti. And TJ, who wears 24 out to Kevin, is a 7th grader in the state high school tournament. How about that? Also coming to the ball game.
Isn't it amazing? Was it Minnehaha, Dave, last night? They had an 8th grader, 6'7" or 6'8"?
Yeah, 6'7".
Oh, these kids are going to be, they're like weeds with how they grow.
There's a steal, and the basket by Holloman is good, with all of his teammates up cheering for him. 87-49. North with yet another steal. Man, it just doesn't stop. They are so quick defensively. Rejection there. The block by Ian Sherman, and then the three from way outside just misses. Campbell had it off to Carter. The dish to the corner, the three on the way, and that's a beautiful shot by Armand Dalton. 90-49 North. Ball stolen again, and coming down with it up and missing the stuff. The follow by Campbell, and Eli's got his name in the books. 92-49. Minute and a half to go. State championship. Short distance away right now for the Polars.
Well, I tell you what, this second half was played much better by the Grizzlies. They came out, didn't turn the ball over as much, shot the ball pretty well. They finally kind of relaxed into this game. And maybe part of that is kind of just you feel you're resigned that you're going to lose. So let's just have some fun here and play together as this second half rolls on.
Austin Chalklin is coming to the ball game for the Grizzlies too. Chaboti, the 7th grader, demonstrating some nice dribbling skills. That shot no good. Rebound hauled down by North. Under a minute to play. That's Carter driving, a high shot, and a rebound and foul by the 6'8" Dakai Hines. Chaboti stolen. 34 seconds. Carter with the runner and the layup. And now a timeout, so we get more players in here for Northwoods. The reserves for the Polars have come in and lit it up. That's Carter. That's Hines.
That kind of reminds me of the '83 championship, national championship of NC State against Phi Slamma Jamma, Lorenzo Charles. I just thought of that right now on my own. The producer didn't say anything about that, Dave.
We're going to look for some new players coming here. We've got Tanner Bartos coming in for the Grizzlies. Brian Whiteman will be in the ball game. Who else we got coming in here? Kent Villebrin. And that carrying the ball up is Jamie Ocampo Drift, the sophomore. And with 20 seconds left, a couple of possession changes right there in front of you with Bartow in his hands now. Out to Villebrin. Bartow with the ball. 11 seconds. The drive, rejection. Hines blocks it out of bounds, and that'll do it. And Minneapolis North, the Polars, have been successful at defending their state championship because they got their second consecutive this afternoon at Target Center here in Minneapolis. Let's check out our player of the game, brought to you by Warner Stellium, Minnesota's original appliance specialist.
Isaac Johnson, boy, I mean, he's a senior and one of the top players in the state. Yet again, look at this, close to 30 points like he did in the previous couple games here at the state tournament. 9 rebounds. We've talked about him plenty of times during this ball game here, Dave, and I think he's got a chance to be a solid college player at Western Illinois.
Well, the coaches right there, Larry and Will, congratulating one another, and Larry McKenzie's done a great job in making this Polar team so good after quite an absence. Here's our good friend Leo Lewis, former Minnesota Viking. Leo, of course, up at Minneapolis North, and very proud. I was chatting with him before the game, Kevin, and was feeling really good about not only the team but these kids and what's happening there, and the Polar Nation getting a little bigger. You talked about the enrollment, and then I just also want to make sure we congratulate Northwoods on a great year. What a great year. Let's go down to the awards ceremony, and Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'll present the 10-member Wells Fargo All-Tournament team, which is chosen by the sports writers and sportscasters covering the tournaments. These students have distinguished themselves by their athletic excellence, leadership, team commitment, and exceptional sportsmanship. Presenting the trophies for the Wells Fargo All-Tournament Team Award at center court is A.J. Osterman, the Vice President for Business Acquisition Manager from Wells Fargo. He's assisted by Kevin Merkel, the Tournament Director. And now the 2017 Class A Boys Basketball All-Tournament Team. From Central Minnesota Christian, forward Ethan Brower. From Red Lake High School, guard Rob McClain Jr. From Springfield, guard Isaac Bing. From Goodhue, center Jacob McNamara. From Northwoods High School, guard Cade Gogolai. From Northwoods High School, forward Tate Olson. From Minneapolis North Community High School, guard Taylor Johnson. From Minneapolis North Community High School, guard Isaac Johnson. From Minneapolis North Community High School, guard Jaquan Sanders Smith. And from Minneapolis North Community High School, center Odell Wilson, the fourth. Wells Fargo and the Minnesota State High School League congratulates all members of the 2017 Class A Boys Basketball All-Tournament Team. Fans in action earlier today at Concordia University. St. Paul, it was Goodhue defeating Springfield by the score of 51-47. The fourth place trophy was presented to Springfield High School, and Goodhue High School was awarded bronze medals and the third place trophy. Congratulations to Springfield and Goodhue. And now, fans, the award ceremony will be conducted by representatives of the MSHSL Board of Directors, including Steve Beals of Montevideo, Paul McDonald of Ely, and Chad Stoskopf of ESCO, assisted by Executive Director and Tournament Director Kevin Merkel. Silver medals and the Class A second place trophy will be awarded to Northwoods High School. The silver medals will now be presented to each member of the team and coaches. Would each player and coach please walk forward to receive your medal as your name is read. 0, Jamie Ocampo-Drift. 2, Blake Schofield. 3, Cade Gogolai. 5, Brendan Parson. 10, Isaiah Squires. 12, Ian Sherman. 13, Tanner Bardo. 14, Dylan Shaboti. 15, Tate Olson. 21, Brian Whiteman. 23, Chase Kleppy. 24, TJ Shaboti. 25, Tanner Lockett. 31, Austin Chalklin. 33, Kent Villebrun. Number 35, Trevor Morrison. Number 42, Tim Pierce. And number 44, George Bebo. Student managers, Lena Dom. And student manager, Karina Bristol. Assistant coach, Dan Squires. Assistant coach, Jerry Shaboti. And assistant coach, Matt Bergman. And head coach, Will Kleppy. And now will the captains of the Northwoods High School Grizzlies please come forward to receive the Class A second place trophy. The 2017 Minnesota State High School Class A Boys Basketball Champion is Minneapolis North Community High School. Each member of the official squad receives a gold medal. At this time, we ask that you players come forward as your name is called. Number 1, Zion Sanford. Number 3, Trey Holloman. 4, Jaquan Sanders Smith. Number 5, Marquise Holloman. 11, Glenn Carter. 12, Nasir El Amin. 13, Decay Hines. 15, Taylor Johnson. Number 20, Elijah Campbell. 21, Jameer Jackson. Number 32, Odell Wilson IV. Number 34, Decoy Hines. Number 35, Isaac Johnson. And number 44, Armand Dalton. Student managers, Kaylin Stevenson. and student manager Corshawn Davis.
Congratulations.
Assistant coaches Tyler Slick, assistant coach Michael Shelton, and assistant coach Sherman Patterson. And head coach of the Minneapolis North Community High School Polars, Larry McKenzie. And now will the captains of Minneapolis North Community High School, the 2017 Minnesota State High School Class A champions, please come forward to receive your championship trophy.
Two-piece, second one. Lobo's got more coming, man.
Congratulations, teams. Please join the Minnesota State High School League and Wells Fargo in congratulating these athletes and their schools for their outstanding participation in this year's State Boys Basketball Tournament. And the award ceremony is now concluded. Thank you for your attention.
This is the 7th state championship in boys basketball for Minneapolis North, second in a row. They are back-to-back champs. They won't three-peat in single A. They're heading to double A next year. Those classifications coming out this morning. I expect they'll have a pretty good shot at making it to the double A championship. Congratulations to the Polars, back-to-back champions in Class A. Leah B. Olson, Trent Tucker with me here courtside. Leah, that's a heck of a basketball team.
Well, it's so amazing what they were able to do throughout this entire tournament, the dominance that they have, all the different players, the way that they played this game, so physical, up and down. That defense is fun to watch. So just from start to end, this team was pretty impressive.
Trent, you can also tell they get along and they love playing this game.
Well, it's all about having fun and playing together, and this team right at the start of the season, they brought that funness and that togetherness, and that's due to their head basketball coach and what Larry McKenzie has been able to do over the last few years with this basketball program.
Good resurgence for Minneapolis North. The football team has done very well. State championships for them. Basketball team as well. We've talked about it a lot. This was a school that needed some good things to happen. Good things are happening. And it's called Minneapolis North Community School. That really fits now.
It fits very, very well. And we talk about leadership. It starts at the top. It started with the principal, Sean Barris-Harry. She came in and she has done a very good job. And then you have someone like Leo Lewis who steps in to become the athletic director. And then, you know, they were very fortunate to have someone like Larry McKenzie step in to take over the basketball program. And so, and things are moving well right now for North High School.
Let's go down to Alley with the back-to-back champion Polars.
Yep, guys, back-to-back champions. We're going to start with Coach McKenzie. Coach, year after year, North continues to dominate, and you win your final time in Class 1A, taking home a title. What was it like?
Well, I mean, you know what? 4 years ago, I told these kids when I took the North High job, I told these kids that I came there to win championship, and we were going to turn the program around, and that's exactly what they did. Don't make me start crying, man. That's exactly what they did. I'm just so proud of these kids.
Coach, I do want to ask you, give you that moment with your senior. You came in, this is your senior class. You came in 4 years ago, and you've coached them to this moment. Talk about your player here in Jaquan to your right.
Jaquan is one of those kids that had a choice to go. He could have gone any place. And, you know, he's one of the kids in the neighborhood that decided to stay in the neighborhood and go to school. And, you know, he's been there 4 years. He's going to go play college basketball someplace. I'm really proud of him. He's just one of my special ones right here.
Well, congratulations, Coach. We'll turn it over to Jaquan. I know we're struggling at the moment, but it's because you're just so happy. Back-to-back championships, and this hasn't happened for North since the mid-'90s. Why was this the team to do it, Jaquan?
I feel like this year it probably was like our most unselfish team. Like last year, we had a lot of talent, but this year we played as a team this year.
You've been through a lot of ups and downs over your career. Think about this moment where you have now won a state championship to finish it all out.
It felt good. It's the best feeling in the world right now. Best feeling in the world.
You had that moment with Coach McKenzie. What's it like playing for him?
It's great. He push you every morning, 6 a.m. practice. He hold everybody accountable. He treat everybody the same. I love him.
Congratulations. Go enjoy it with your team, Jaquan.
All right, Allie, and our thanks for Allie's interview with the guys. The emotions, Kevin, I don't know how many times you and I are going to chat about that, but that's the bottom line in this stuff, and it's fun to see him get that state title and be so excited with Larry McKenzie and the great job he's done there. And now we move on to game 2 coming up next. There's a good look at Larry and those good looking tennis shoes.
That's Trent, Chris, Leah talking about some good things. Some positive, you know, it's a good thing when Minneapolis North has a strong, just, you know, you want to talk boys basketball. It's good for the community. That means fewer kids are leaving the city to go out to suburban schools, and it's a sense of pride when your football team, your boys basketball team, girls basketball team is having success. Having Leo Lewis on board is huge. Larry McKenzie, that's huge. Trent Tucker's involved as well. And you get some good people as leaders, and success is going to come.
Much more to come. Next game should be a beauty. Crosby Ironton and Minnehaha Academy. We'll preview that for you coming up here in between games on 45 TV. Welcome to Championship Saturday.
Minneapolis North makes it back-to-back championships in Class A. Austin and South Austin and Crosby Ironton. Austin and Thielen later on. Coming next, Minnehaha Academy and Crosby Ironton. So many good games coming up today. I can't wait to get to them. Larry McKenzie celebrating. How about this? He's 18-1 as a coach all time at the state tournament. That is an unbelievable record for Coach McKenzie as his Polars are back-to-back champions. Chris Long back with Leah B. Olson and Trent Tucker. Leah, your thoughts on the Class A championship game?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing to watch North do what they do and their dominance and how they play the game. And I mean, it's incredibly fun and entertaining basketball to watch. But as we've all said, incredibly important for the community as well. Trent?
They played very well together on both ends of the floor. It's a solid basketball team from top to bottom. And they play that way all season long. And when the coach has a game plan and the players can go out and execute it, these are the type of things that happen.
Could have handed the game ball to a bunch of different players. Mine, I say Jaquan Sanders-Smith. I always like to look at guys that raise their game under the bright lights of the state tournament. Boy, did he average 11.7 points this year. Trent scored 24 here in the championship game.
You know, they moved the basketball well from the strong side to the weak side. We all know about North's pressure defense, but today they showed they could shoot the basketball from downtown.
Leah, you pointed this out early in the game. Kay Gogolai is going to hit the bucket here. Watch how fast North comes back. Northwoods just doesn't see teams like this.
Yeah, it's the answer that's stifling. It's so quick, it's so fast, it doesn't give you time to respond at all, and here they go again.
And when you talk about the heart and soul of this team, Trent, it's Isaac Johnson. He's such a good player. He's steady, smooth, 22-point-a-game average this year. Scored 29 in the semifinal, scored another 28 today.
You know, he's a very good outside shooter, so he should have a good college basketball career at the next level.
Think winning ever gets old? We watched that post-game interview with Jaquan Sanders-Smith and Coach Larry McKenzie. This guy's won a bunch of championships. Players won last year, but yeah, afterward, emotion still got to him. It's great to see.
You know, the one thing about Larry, what he has done is not just brought basketball to these kids, but he's also brought life lessons. And he's working with them every single day to become better young men. And North High is very, very lucky to have a coach like Larry McKenzie on their side.
A dominant performance as they make it back-to-back Class A championships. And as we mentioned, the new classifications came out. They will be moving up to 2A next year. Minneapolis North wins 96-49. What a run, though, for the Northwoods Grizzlies. Their first ever appearance in the state tournament. They run all the way to the state championship game. With only one senior on the roster, Leah, we might see them again here real soon.
Well, I think we will see them back next year, and that will be exciting. What will that 1A class look like without North standing in the way? So we'll see what happens next year.
Coming up next, the AA championship. I promise you, these are the teams, Minnehaha Academy and Crosby Ironton. We expect some fireworks in this one as they play for the AA title after this short break on 45 TV.